You wish to hunt the Lasombra? Then I will do something few have dared. I will tell you the truth, not the half-truths whispered in damp alleyways, not the dogma of the Camarilla or the rhetoric of the Inquisition, not the broken myths of frightened elders who do not understand what it is they speak of. The truth. And it begins, as all dark things do, with the abyss. Most speak of vampires in terms of blood, of curses passed from one to another, from Cain to his children, and so on. But the Lasombra, they are something else. Some say they did not come from Cain at all, that theirs is a lineage of something deeper, something older, that their blood is not merely cursed but claimed. And that claim does not come from the heavens, it comes from the abyss. The abyss is not simply darkness, not merely an absence of light. It is not shadow, not in the way you or I would understand it. No, the abyss is nothingness made hunger, made will. It is the place beyond creation, the thing that lurked before light, before form, before time. And something, someone, reached into it. Or perhaps more terrifyingly, the abyss reached into them. Before the first city, before the rise of mortal civilizations, there were those who heard whispers from the darkness between stars, from the void beneath the waves, from the places where the world grows thin and sanity unravels. They followed those whispers, and the abyss answered. These were the first to command the darkness, not just wielding shadow, but becoming something less than flesh, something more than void. And from these first servants, the lineage of the Lasombra began. Some say the first Lasombra was not embraced as others were. Some say he was swallowed whole by the abyss and spat back out, changed. But that is only legend, isn't it? Isn't it? The Lasombra ruled from the shadows before they ever bore that name. In the first city, they were priests, advisors, manipulators, never the face of power, but always the hands guiding it. They did not waste time with indulgence as the Ventru did, nor did they sulk in the sewers like the Nosferatu. No, the Lords of Shadow understood something the others did not. Power is perception. They did not seek to be seen as kings. They ensured that kings bowed to them. But the abyss is not easily bound. The first Lasombra, those who dabbled too deeply, who let too much of the void into themselves, they became less. No one knows what happened to them. Some say they were swallowed whole, that their own shadows devoured them. Some say they did not die, but instead exist between, trapped in the emptiness, watching, waiting, whispering. And some say that when a Lasombra falls too deep into the abyss, those first lords are still there, waiting to pull them through. When the first city fell, many of the Lasombra welcomed it. Oh yes, while others wept and wailed at the fall of an empire, the Lords of Shadow thrived in ruin. The abyss does not build, it consumes. And in the chaos, the Lasombra spread. Through Rome, through Carthage, through the empires of man, they whispered in the ears of kings, of priests, of emperors. Where the Ventru sought to rule through law, the Lasombra ruled through inevitability. They did not force, they guided. They didn't command, they inspired. And when the world needed blood to be spilled, it was their shadows that moved unseen. Even the mortals felt it, though they did not understand. You have heard of the Black Hand, have you not? The assassins of history, the knife in the dark that undoes empires? They were not merely men. They were disciples of shadow. And now we must speak of obtenebration. You think it is simply a discipline, yes? A trick of blood and will. A Lasombra calling forth shadows as a Toreador calls beauty, as a Tremere calls fire. You are wrong. The shadows they summon? They are not shadows. They are something else. When a Lasombra calls the abyss, it does not simply come. It reaches back. It remembers. And those who wield it are not in control, no matter how they lie to themselves. Obtenebration is not a gift, it is a contract. Every time a Lasombra summons the abyss, they let a piece of it inside them, and the more they use it, the more they change. Some Lasombra do not cast reflections, not because of their cursed blood, but because the abyss is already eating them from within. Some Lasombra speak, and their voices do not sound quite human anymore, because something else is whispering with them. And some Lasombra, the ones who truly master the void, they do not die. No, they simply fade. They become the abyss. And once they are gone, once they step fully into that place between, do you know what happens? Sometimes, when another Lasombra calls upon the darkness, they hear them. Now you understand why I fear them. The Lasombra are not like the other Cainites. They are not mere monsters, not merely predators in the night. They are bridges. Between this world and something older, between flesh and hunger, between existence and nothing. And you who seek to hunt them, you are a fool. Because they are not simply vampires, they are doors. And one day the abyss will open, and the Lords of Shadow will no longer need to knock. If you value your soul, hunter, do not fight them in the dark. Do not let their whispers linger in your mind. And above all else, if a Lasombra looks at you and smiles, if their shadows do not move quite as they should, do not run. It will not save you, for the abyss is always hungry, and now it knows your name.